Hey, ladies, hey, gentlemen, hey, yo, to all the fellas, what's up, what's popping right now? Let me adjust this little camera as we start this off. How y'all doing? Welcome into the Sunday show right now, the Sunday live stream where we are going to be discussing in-depth Week 13. I'm excited. I see a bunch of people right now in the chat. We got projections, rankings, all this stuff be up right now on my end. We did the Closing Thoughts podcast this morning. I'm having a good start to the day. We did the Closing Thoughts podcast. We got in our Zen. We lit the nice little sugar cookie, a cent worth Christmas candle, reading some of the Daily Stoic book, the new one that I just got. We're having a good time so far today. I'm very excited to break down this slate. I'm very excited to play DFS today, right? We've had a wonky slate kind of last week, right? Showdown slates all over the place. DFS, back to normal. A slate where it's going to be balanced, I think, a lot of the time with what people are going to do in ownership. I don't think you're going to see that crazy ownership in the quarterback position. You're going to see some on running backs. You're probably going to see some on wide receivers without a doubt. Shout out to Houston, guys. And then you're going to see some on tight ends. So it's going to be interesting where you have condensed ownership at each position, except for quarterback. Quarterback normally is balanced out, even more so this week. Might only see maybe one or two guys get to double-digit ownership, if that. So what's up, everybody? I see people in here. Before we get started, again, if you're brand new, if you're watching this on the replay, this is just going to be an hour to an hour and a half for everybody in here. Ask questions, I'll answer them. I have projections, rankings, a lot of stuff on my Patreon link down below, so you can follow along. Ownership projections as well. We did the GPP podcast this morning, going in depth on how I'm setting up my lineups, on where I think some caution points are, on where I want to be above the field, on where exactly opponents are going to be making mistakes because of simple things and optimizers and simple things in groupthink. So you can see all that down below. Like and subscribe. The goal is to get to 35,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are on pace very steadily, but I would like to, bump that bad boy up a little bit. Maybe we can get to 34,000 today, so I appreciate all of you in advance. In this video, I will discuss it more later in the video and in the live stream, but Jock Market is who's sponsoring this video. It's where daily fantasy sports meets a stock exchange. It's pretty funny. So they were sponsoring this channel for like a month, and then I was in the shower where, you get some deep thinking going, and I actually finally realized that Jock Market, Jock Sports, all that type of stuff, rhymes with stock market. I know, very stupid of me to take this long, but what are you going to do? Jock Market, daily fantasy sports meets the stock exchange. You buy shares and stocks of players, so you're buying into their stock with the upside that they score fantasy points based on the amount of fantasy points they score relative to the other people in the market that week. There's 70 players in the Jock Market, around 100 to 120 in the free market that they have on Jock Market's app. You will be returning on investment or losing money. You can live trade throughout the entire event from Sunday to Monday slate, so be sure to check it out down below. You download the app totally free, use my name Sal10, and bam, get slapped with a $10 Ruski bonus. So check that out. See a bunch of people in here right now. What up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? What's up, Dave? I see it's Gilmore Life says, good morning, bro. Good morning. Alan says, fellas, and the dollar Ruskis. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Somebody says, got Lisa up in here, gang. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Sean, how you doing? He says, I'm going to be joining Super Draft. Got up at 5:30 making lineups. Very nice. Up with the sunset. I like it, my man. All right, everybody. What are questions at? So these are the quarterbacks on the screen right now. I'll be taking your questions. These quarterbacks do correlate with where my stacks are currently at in terms of my ownership towards these stacks. Yes means yes, maybe means less exposure, but I have them, and no means that it's probably around 3% or less. It doesn't mean I don't have them, but if I have like 1% of Russell Wilson or 2%, I'm just putting it as a no right now because it's very sprinkled amounts. I could put it as a maybe, but I kind of want to put some differentiate in there. First score, my punt tight end, Yeah, Anthony Firsker looks fine. There's not much reason to get away from a punt tight end outside of ownership, which is probably going to be coming at 20+% owned. My latest update on ownership, I had him at 19%, so right around 20%. So yeah, ownership on a punt tight end is concerning, but it's also a punt tight end. So you're going to be building not similar lineups because of that tight end to everybody else. You can get very different still with your stack, so I'm not as concerned with it. Sal does not like Goff, somebody says. Yeah, I have my latest crunch. At one point I was at 7% Goff. I think I'm still in that range, in that realm right now. I have Goff in 5% of my lineups, 8 total. So Goff's there's I don't know, one tier, one guy's in his own tier for me, then a tier of 3, and then Goff's kind of by himself. What's up, Sal? Making sure everybody in the Discord has an Avi pick. I'm patrolling, says Miguel. What you trying to do in there? Trying to make sure everybody's got an Avi pick. I never got my bonus and I made a deposit. Any help? So if you're talking about Super Draft, are you talking about Super Draft or Jock Market? Talking about Super Draft, they give it to you in a slow drip format. You get it as you play. Jock Market, if you use the code SAL10, they set up that bonus within the past 2 weeks. So if you deposited before that, but if not, if you deposit within the last week using SAL10, SAL10 on Jock Market, let me know. DM me over on Twitter, and I can reach out to them. But that's only if it's Jock Market. If it's Super Draft, you get it in a slow drip. Sal the dude, what's up, Lisa? How you doing? Your thoughts on Goff? Yeah, he's a fine tertiary option. He's not going to be a main stacking priority. I have 5%. He has the clear stacking options with his 2 to 3 wide receivers. In a good matchup against Arizona. They are run heavy. They do want to limit the amount of times Goff throws. So he's the times that these second. I don't really give a shit about most of these other quarterbacks, right? People last week with Derek Carr approaching 15% on. Like, y'all are crazy. I took him out of my exposures. When that starts to happen, if you don't have rushing upside, you're probably not in a lot of my exposures unless you're, like, just insanely efficient this year. Like, Aaron Rodgers has rushing upside. Watson, of course, does. Herbert does. Murray does, right? So, like, these Matt Ryan, Philip Rivers type statue quarterbacks, Ryan's barely in my exposures at 4% because Julio and Ridley are healthy, and every time that's happened, they have both gone off, and Ryan's had a nice game. But you have to get so much more to go your way. When Watson rushes for 40 to 50 yards and has a rushing touchdown upside tonight, when you have 40-plus attempts and rushing upside for Justin Herbert, it is so difficult. Kyler Murray, 100-yard rushing bonus upside, right? It is so difficult for the good performances of a Jared Goff, which are like 22 fantasy points. Like, those good performances are like almost the floors, right? Outside of Kyler last week, 22 would be his floor. Herbert, 22 is around his floor. Same thing for Rodgers, right? Same thing for Watson. So it's just a different tier of quarterback, and they're priced for it, but not priced anywhere near as much as they should be. Like Goff at $5,800, it should be, $2,000 difference to some of those quarterbacks is probably appropriate, but it should be for all of them. Like, I think Goff's decent, but the amount of times, 1-2 times a year that he hits 30 fantasy points, it's like average for all these other quarterbacks. Good morning, Sal Vetri, says Mama Vetri. Mama Vetri in the chat. What's up, Mom? How you doing? Hopefully having a lovely start to your Sunday. Been having a good day over here. Some coffee, some little bit of a reading, ease the mind, and I'm going to go with Chet, shoot some hoops later, and then watch some of these games. Julio Jones day. I like Julio Jones, yeah. Some people think he might be a decoy. You can't project for that. The last time people thought he was going to be a decoy, he scored 37 fantasy points and was the number one wide receiver in fantasy week 6 against Minnesota. Tougher matchup this week, but I'm not too concerned with it. Julio is one of our that one dudes this week for good reason. Sub homie Cobb Fathers in the easy. Get me those dollar Ruskies. My man in here from the bags, the cornhole streets. What's up? How y'all doing? Fellas, what's up, Sal? What's going on? Don't think Taysom Hill has potential? I think he has potential, but what am I doing? I stack every single one of my lineups with a game stack. What am I doing with Taysom Hill's 200 yards passing, right? Taysom Hill can score 25 fantasy points on his own, continue to get these 2 rushing touchdown performances. It's not helping his wide receivers, right? Sure, if Michael Thomas has 18 fantasy points today, and Taysom Hill goes for 20, I don't really think I'm missing out, right? I don't think Taysom Hill is a 30-point upside to sustain a 25-point wide receiver and potentially also sustain another wide receiver. I'm double stacking every single one of my games, so I would have to have Taysom Hill plus like Jared Cook and Michael Thomas with a run back payoff. I don't think Taysom Hill, there's been no indications to me that Taysom Hill can support barely one wide receiver, let alone 2. Robinson, Julio, or Sanders for my flex. Allen Robinson, you mean Allen or James Robinson? I would go Allen Robinson if that's Allen Robinson. Either way. Yeah, I'd go Allen Robinson. Yo, Sal, would you play Taylor over Kamara this week? I have Kamara projected out for higher, so no. What's going on, Skylar? How you doing? Yo, chat, would you play Evan Ingram or Firsker or Jordan Reed for today? I would go Evan Ingram still. Hayden Hurst or Jimmy Graham? Hayden Hurst for me. Would you stack with Kyler? Yeah, every single one of my Kyler lineups is stacked. I got about 10 to 12% Kyler. Is it 14%? How much do I got? I got 13% Kyler, and every single one of them is double stacked. So Hopkins, Kirk, Isabella. I don't think I got any Dan Arnold, so I think those are the 3 guys. Yeah, I got no Dan Arnold, so those are the 3 guys that I would be playing in all of my Kyler lineups with the run back from the opposite side, which is going to be the Rams. Is Ridley a good play today? I prefer Julio. Ridley's fine. He'll be lower owned than last week. Julio's back. You get a better projection from me from Julio and a cheaper price, so I'll be going there. Thoughts on Trubisky? Can you speak on this game a little, please? Yeah, Trubisky's okay because he has a rushing upside. We've seen it in the past. Now, it's been 2 years since he's had these GPP winning scores of 30+, but he's done well historically against Detroit. Honestly, it doesn't matter much outside of week 1 to me. It's nice to say, but it's a different defensive unit and different defensive players everywhere. And it's a worse defense, if anything. So, Trubisky has the rushing upside. All his receivers are going to be active, although dealing with injuries from Mooney, downfield, that's a concern either way. So I think Trubisky's in play. He's not somebody, though, that I'm getting like 15 to 20% of. He has this sneaky upside that he can score 300 yards, 2 to 3 touchdowns, 50 rushing yards. Like, he has that in his catalog. We haven't seen it in a year and a half, so I'm not going to go with high ownership towards a guy that we haven't seen do that in a year and a half to 2 years, and he's been benched since then, so if anything, he's gotten worse. So matchup is good, $5,400 Trubisky. I got some shares. I'm not going to be over the field on him, but he's in my exposures right now. I have stacks of the Bears at a clip of 5% of my lineups, which I assume is going to be above the field. Even if Trubisky comes in right now at 10% owned, those full-on Bear stacks, they're not going to be above 1%. Why no dangerous? So why no Russell Wilson today? Yeah, there's a couple reasons. I thought I might get more. He's fine if you want to get to him. Stacks are expensive, as always. Russ, DK, really expensive. I'm double stacking it, so then the only other viable option is going to be Tyler Lockett. I don't really want to punt their tight ends. David Moore to an extent. But those stacks are expensive, and I don't have any confidence in Colt McCoy. I don't have the projection on Russell Wilson looking good because I don't think the pass attempt volume is going to be there. I don't have pass attempt volume being high. You think Colt McCoy is going to keep this game close? Already, Pete Carroll has come out in the last week saying that they're going to run the ball more. They want to run more. They want to run more, equal to more than they pass. And we've seen that in the last 2 weeks. So if Russ throws for 30 times today, you're going to need mega efficient Russ to pay off this price tag with his stacks, right? If he throws 30 times, you're going to need that efficiency to get 300 yards and 3 touchdowns to win a GPP. I'm not banking on that. I don't think Colt McCoy can keep this game close enough, right? So I'm not going to be getting there. Like if it's 17-3 at halftime, I could guarantee you that Russell Wilson is not going to be throwing 20-plus times in the second half, which is what you've needed. And really, when was the last time Lockett and Metcalf in the same game paid off together? Lockett in a while now, but was it the Dallas game? And at that point, we were in a totally different world of the NFL where Dallas and Seattle facing each other was just guaranteed bonkers performance. Giants defense is pretty decent. Don't expect the offense to stay in it. I'm getting right now, I got 2 lineups with Russ, so 1%. So I put a no here. I don't technically have none of him, but if I put an X, people think I'm going to be a little bit higher than I actually am. Yeah, Mike, if somebody's like spamming with the same questions or whatever, you can just full on like block them from the channel from wherever. You don't have to do the timeout thing. My man Salvi, what's going on, James? How you doing? Marshawn Lattimore will line up against 2. I mean, if Lattimore's definitely healthy in him, which we're fully expecting, I don't know why else, he's going to probably go up against Julio, but it doesn't matter for me. And honestly, he might not because he struggled against Julio. So Marshawn Lattimore, I don't give a shit about who's facing these Atlanta receivers today, right? Lattimore has not held down Ridley. Ridley has had a lot of success, 3 touchdown games against Lattimore, and Lattimore has not had any success historically against Julio Jones. They face each other, like 7 times now? One of the games he might have left early, Julio. Julio has had multiple 130-yard performances. He's had multiple 30-plus point fantasy days against the Saints defense with Marshawn Lattimore out there. No concern at all for that matchup. Wide receiver versus quarterback is important to look at because it's a part of the equation, but it's wildly overrated. People making their entire decisions on wide receiver quarterback matchups are foolish. It's one part of a 10 to 11 variable process of making a projection. So you just say, oh, that's the one variable I'm looking at. I'm weighting that 100% of my outcomes or 50%. That's absolutely foolish. So in this situation, it's not even like that much of a factor for me. But even in ones where you have like last year's Stephon Gilmore against top wide receivers, like that weights a little bit more, but it's still just one piece of the puzzle, right? Yo, just listen to your podcast, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, people have been asking about vlogs. I have a lot of vlog footage that I think I'm just going to delete because every time I go to edit it, 2 to 3 hours worth, I don't want to. So I might just start fresh, make a new vlog. We're definitely going to do an end of the year business vlog to discuss how my business did and just some of the stuff that I've learned through the business standpoint of this year with COVID. Business doing very well. Discuss that in some pretty good detail and also discuss takeaways from it. Some cool stuff that I want to talk about in depth. Some of the stuff I'm reading is Stillness is Key, a book I just read. Some of that is some pretty impactful over the last month or 2 of my reading and just my mindset a little bit more. Corey Davis or Deontay Johnson this week? Yeah, so Big Ben is questionable, so you might have to take that risk not knowing until this game on Monday night with the Steelers. So Big Ben's questionable. If you're in a situation in your season-long league, if this is season-long wise, that you can take a risk, I would go with Deontay Johnson. If you need to secure points, like if Big Ben misses, I don't trust Deontay Johnson to produce, so then that's when I would go Corey Davis. So it's up to your risk tolerance. If you just need secure points, Corey Davis. If you think that you can take a little bit of a risk, you think you're going to win by a lot, or you think you're going to lose by a lot, so you need to take a little bit of a risk, then go Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is the better play. It's just that Big Ben is now questionable. Big Ben plays through a lot of injuries, though, so I'd lean to go Deontay. Swain has been playing more than Fursker. What? Jeff Swain has been playing more than Anthony Fursker in terms of, you're talking about run blocking, right? Like, have you looked at routes run data? And by more than Fursker, do you mean for one game last week? Because Jeff Swain in the last 4 weeks has ran a total of 14 routes. So him playing more than Fursker from a fantasy standpoint, from not just blocking, because that's what he's been doing. He's been a run blocker. Not something that I would be too concerned about. Now, Jeff Swain's going to be on the field more this week, but Anthony Fursker, already running routes, is now also going to take on the Jonnu Smith role in the playbook. So do not get all up in arms about Swain. Anthony Fursker last week alone has ran equal to more routes than Jeff Swain has. In the last 2 weeks, Fursker running 27 routes. That is way more than the month that he's been with the Titans and Jeff Swain. So don't worry about Jeff Swain. If he has a touchdown from the 1 yard line on a play action, he's probably doing it on like 4 routes run. How does the target share in Houston shake down today? Yeah, tight ends, overwhelmingly, probably more times than not. You're looking at 25+% target share for Cooks. Tight ends will be involved. Atkins and Fells, I think, will be closer than people expect. I give the edge to Atkins, but closer than people expect. Kiki Kute, Isaiah Coulter, Stephen Mitchell to an extent. It's going to be all over the place, but condensed, you would think, to Cooks primarily, but then all over the place after probably really Cooks. What do we got? $5 donations from Robert Ulrich. Thank you, Robert. He says, how much Cousins do you have? I have 3%. High team total, terrible Jags pass defense, easy stacking, run back options. What am I missing here? You're missing that they're a 10-point favorite. They're a low-volume passing offense. Yeah, that's basically it. So I have 3% Kirk Cousins today. I think he's a nice, decent stack. I don't think it's terrible. We've seen this work out multiple times. Once this year, multiple times last year, maybe even twice this year with these Cousins stacks. You have a cheap tight end with Rudolph. The problem is you're hoping that he throws 35 times and that he's efficient. Now, he's been efficient this year, but not downfield efficiency. More so like the 10 to 20 range. Some big plays to Jefferson, but you're hoping that he's going to throw his 35 times to get you there. And as a 10-point favorite against Jacksonville, that can go out the window pretty quick with a 150-yard on the ground Dalvin Cook day, which is what everybody's owning. I think Kirk Cousins and Minnesota are very sneaky leverage stacks off of Dalvin Cook today. I got 3%. I think that's going to be very, very much above the field in terms of full stacks. 3% stacks of Minnesota today, in my opinion, will be above the field. A Sal business channel would be awesome. I have a secondary channel. It's my full name, Sal Vetri. A little bit more professional for you. Give you the full name, the Vatore. But no, that I put some random business stuff out on there. It's very spotty though, right? I put it like on my budgeting stuff, how I paid off my like 90 grand in student loans in like 11 months. I put like a whole process of how to strategically find more money in the money you make, right? Budgeting, all that type of stuff, and how to make it go longer for you. And how just what gets measured gets managed is like, I mean, I'm not going to tattoo that on my body, but put that on a t-shirt because that's impactful. But yeah, we do the business vlogs. We stopped doing them once the NFL started just because a lot was going on with the NFL. Probably could have squeaked them out, but I figured I'd do an end of year business one. I think the last business vlog was like October maybe. So we skipped November, maybe even September. But yeah, Kirk Cousins, like, I mean, you're really hoping for like last week. Sure, the last 2 weeks have looked good, or last week looked really good because he threw 46 times. He's been very efficient. Kirk Cousins has been good over the last month of the season. The problem is, for Kirk Cousins to win you a GPP, you need probably a 28 to 30 point performance. Kirk Cousins this year has not done that. His best performance was last week with 24 fantasy points. So it's tough. It's difficult to want to get there in a full-on game stack, especially in a week where they're 10-point favorites. In games where they're playing from behind or having to win, like Carolina last week, in games where they're not 10-point favorites, it's looked a little bit better, but like a 22-point performance from Kirk Cousins would be well above his projection that I have him at today, and I still don't think that wins you any GPPs. It's the same argument I was making earlier with Matt Ryan, and I see that we have around 700 people in here. What's up, everybody? Hit that like and subscribe if you're still in here. What's up? But it's the same problem that we had. We weren't live last week, so that's concerning, so I apologize for that, but we're starting now. We'll be live next week as well, and hopefully the week after that. Just subbed to your Patreon yesterday, bro. Nice. Welcome. But yeah, Kirk Cousins is the same argument. Lesser extent as Matt Ryan is, because I think he actually has a ceiling. In my projections, he does. But 3% of him I have. He's similar to Jared Goff in terms of like these guys' good performances are 20 to 24 fantasy points. Like at most this year, their ceilings. So those aren't winning any GPPs when guys on this slate are averaging literally multiple guys, 25 to 26 fantasy points, like 5 guys. I like Sterling Shepard for a decent game trailing. Do you think Colt McCoy will struggle to his targets? Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to think much of Colt McCoy. He has like a pistol shooter arm. He's remained in the league as a backup for 10 years somehow. I don't have confidence in him, but the one guy you would have confidence in would be Sterling Shepard and or Evan Ingram running those intermediate crossing routes to short routes. So I'm not playing Sterling Shepard in DFS. I think I might have 1%. But yeah. Hey, Sal, any love for Kenny and Drake in your Goff run back stack today? I've got today 0% Kenny and Drake. My Goff run back stacks are mainly going to be consumed by DeAndre Hopkins and Andy Isabella today. Tommy Stevenson is now a subscriber. Welcome, fella. Yes, we got the little pop-ups up above. Shout out Aaron Rodgers, some of the inside jokes. Donations will also pop up. Our man Ron Swanson. Going to play around with those a little bit. Hey, Sal, sorry if you answered this. Looks like Tua is going to play. How do you feel about a Tua stack? I like Ryan Fitzpatrick stacks a lot more. Also, not to call out Ian Rappaport, but maybe his judgment on his sources, because Ian Rappaport has basically gotten the biggest piece of news wrong every single week for the past month. So I would assume that we're definitely going to know this news, because it's not like you could have a timeshare with quarterbacks like coming in for these snaps, right? But Ian Rappaport got Christian McCaffrey was going to be at like a 50% workload. Got 100%. Last week, people are reaching out to me. Sal, Ian Rappaport says Austin Eckler isn't going to be the workhorse today. I say I'm not listening to any of that shit because I don't believe his sources, because his sources have been wrong the last month. Unless Adam Schefter tweets it, I'm not believing in it. So Adam Schefter didn't tweet it. 30 touches, 30 attempts or opportunities, should I say, last week on what, like 24 touches for Austin Eckler. So yeah, this week it's kind of hard not to believe it because we'll have that news before the game starts. But it makes me a little bit pissed off because I feel like there's going to be a chance that, and not even pissed off, I don't care that much about this shit, but I feel like there's going to be a chance that in like an hour, Ryan Fitzpatrick is starting and those reports are wrong because I have no validity in Ian Rappaport these days. But yeah, I don't like Tua stacks. I had a good amount of Ryan Fitzpatrick stacks, like 5+%. I don't have any Tua stacks right now. Yeah. Running back projections, please. Yeah, so there's no projections on the screen. So Chris Cox is now a subscriber. Welcome, Christopher. Yeah, if you want to subscribe, you get your name up there. But Let's just put it this way. The stuff you're seeing on the screen, none of these are projections. Fantasy points per game, that's what the FPPG is. Projections, rankings, all that stuff you can find a link down below on Patreon, though. Any Allen Robinson or Mooney news? Yeah, they're both expected to play. Is Kyler okay to play solo in a single entry? Naked Kyler? I'm probably not going there, no. You obviously can do it. He's at 100-plus yard rushing game. There's that upside to it. If you play Naked Kyler once or twice this year, it probably works out for you, not needing the stack, but I'm not going to do it, personally. All right, so I'm going to scroll to the bottom here. Rivers or Trubisky in a season-long Trubisky for me. Morning, Sal. Cheers to week 14. Cheers to you as well. You're looking ahead of week. Andrew Russell, welcome as a subscriber. But yeah, cheers to you in week 13, though, but close. Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson. I have more Deshaun Watson today, but I like them both a lot. Did Eckler's ownership move up? Is he still a yes? He is still a yes. I have a lot of him. Jesse is now a subscriber. Welcome, Jesse. Welcome to the squad. Sal, check out Dave Ramsey Business Management. I listened to the Dave Ramsey podcast when I was getting out of debt. It was like nice little motivation listening to those stories. I haven't listened to it since, to be honest with you. There's some stuff I don't agree with at all from Dave Ramsey. I don't say a good amount of it I do, though. But no, yeah, I mean, I listened to Dave Ramsey. That's where I started probably when I was 20, 21, getting into budgeting and trying to knock out my student debt very quickly, which 100% agree with that stuff. But I haven't listened to him since. Nothing against him, just I don't need that help anymore or that little push. Quick question. Why does Jock Market bidding end an hour before the first kickoff? I don't know. You have to ask them. Their bidding is 8 to noon, 8 a.m. to noon. I'm sure there's an actual reason, but you have to ask. You can also bid after that. It's live bidding after that. That's just when the market, the IPO, is open, 8 to noon. I'm sure there's a logistical reason so that right before the game, something has to be. Maybe processing the bids takes a couple minutes before the game start. Not positive. Don't know. What do we got here? Sal, number one stream show on Spotify, says Michael. Hey, shout out to you. If you want to tweet me that, I'll retweet you. That's awesome. Michael Pittman versus Deontay Johnson. Pick one. Michael Pittman. I think Ian Rappaport is taking Possum, he said. Shade on Rappaport. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones stack thoughts. Seems okay. Yeah, I have that stack today in some lineups. DK Cash, DraftKings Cash, Booker or Montgomery? Yeah, so I actually prefer Booker to Montgomery today. I know that might be a hot take, but I prefer Myles Gaskin to both of them. In Cash, I'd rather play Gaskin over Booker and Montgomery today. Best bring back for New England, Jacoby Myers. Thoughts on Gaskin today? Love him. My second highest owned running back. I have Gaskin in 59% of my running back, in 59% of my lineups today. Love Gaskin today. Sal, old man Franco or injured Gurley in fantasy today? Oof. That is brutal. Oh, man, that's brutal for you, my man. Let me get you the exact projections that I got on these guys. I would not want to be starting either of them. Franco is getting a ton of touches and doing jack shit with them, but so is... I have Frank Gore for 9.7 fantasy points. I have Gurley for 10.4. So I guess Gurley, I also expect their offense to be able to move the ball closer if you're trying to get a rushing touchdown. Best quarterback for Super Draft today. The best quarterbacks for Super Draft for me, Tua and Taysom Hill, project out nicely. So does Mitch Trubisky. Those three guys I'll probably have a good amount of ownership towards. So, yeah. Thoughts on Jonathan Taylor today? I think he's sneaky in GPPs. I don't need it, though. I don't want to get cute. If you're playing like a single entry at 3 max and you want that to be your very strong leverage to get different, I think it's okay. I'd rather go to other options, though. Like, you have a lot of ownership coming in on Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Booker, and Montgomery. There's lower-owned guys that in that range. Like, Myles Gaskin is not going to be as highly owned as he should. Neither is Booker, to be honest with you, but I'd rather go there. I also still prefer Nyheim Hines to Taylor. The ownership discount makes it closer, but I still prefer Hines to Taylor. Look, Taylor had a good game on a lot of touches, and I mean a good game barely, right? On a lot of touches against a bad Packers defense. What do you have, like 26 touches, barely cracks 100 yards? And like that, people are screaming like that's a good game for him, right? That's a bad game. Like averaging 3.9 yards per carry just because you got volume doesn't make it a good performance. Failed to get in the end zone that game. So he's coming off the COVID list. He didn't have COVID. His girlfriend or somebody his girlfriend knew did. So I know that it's like a quote-unquote sneaky play, but there's a lot of those this week. Like Nick Chubb's going to be low on. Miles Sanders is going to be low on. I'd rather go there. Where's Chubb? I don't have any Chubb. So as I just said, Nick Chubb, I have Miles Sanders in that range as a low-owned guy that I'm getting to. He's that one dude, 13%. Pittman, nice. Thanks again, Sal. No problem, Kells. Have a good day. Did he start on running backs? Yeah. Gaskin or Pittman today? I go Gaskin there. Am I crazy for thinking Hunt is too cheap? Nope. I think you are not crazy by any means. Do you have any Jonathan Taylor today? I do not. This is my favorite part about Sunday. You're the man, Sal Devin. Welcome to the stream. Round of applause for you, sir. $5 donation to Super Chat Streets by Mike Callen. Mike, what's up? He says, Sal, is Trubisky viable without Allen Robinson and Hopkins or Keenan Allen? I would assume that in almost all my Trubisky lineups, I have Allen Robinson. If not all of them, I assume that I do. Is he viable without him? I'd say no. I'll say no. I think that if Trubisky's going to have a 30-point game, Allen Robinson is eating. I don't think Darnell Mooney and Anthony Miller are doing it. There's a slim chance, but I'll say that no, Allen Robinson's going to be needed, especially in a matchup where there's nobody on Detroit that stop Allen Robinson. Like, nobody at all. Amani is not going to stand the chance. So it all comes down to if Trubisky can actually accurately get it there. So thank you for that super chat. Then he says Hopkins or Keenan Allen. I have more Hopkins today currently. Thoughts on Devontae Parker if Tua starts? I like him less. His projection dropped by about 2 points if Tua starts. Gesicki or First or season long? It's actually a really good question. I have Gesicki projected out for more points, but just slightly, I believe. I have Gesicki, Firsker for 8.4 and Gesicki for 8.8. So yeah, I like Gesicki a lot more if Fitzpatrick starts. So Gesicki either way, but it's really close if Tua is starting. Superdraft, QB, stack with Tua. You don't have to stack on Superdraft. The multipliers make it so that there's no really reason to. It's not a one-to-one comparison. The correlation is not the same when one guy is like a 1.8 multiplier and he's on another team with a good projection, and the guy on the same team is like a 1.2 multiplier. It's not the same. Do you have any Crowder today? I think my ownership towards Crowder and interest greatly reduced. Mims is going to be my favorite guy from that team. I have 3% Crowder. So more than Perriman. So it goes Mims, Crowder, and Perriman on my ownership of Jets receivers. I took out Sam Darnold. I didn't want the 2% stack to the Jets I was getting. I took those out. What is your Dalvin exposure? I'll be below the field on Dalvin Cook today and well below the field. Maybe I'll be around the field. I have 20% Dalvin. I have 5% Derrick Henry, which is, if you tune into my channel ever before, you'll know that I usually don't get Derrick Henry. Somebody tweeted me. I think I'm very close to just taking off all my notifications on Twitter because I only want it for news. I went over this in the That One Dude video. Like, the only things I see on Twitter are sometimes, very, very rare. 1% of the time it's positive stuff. And the other times it's just like dudes that are 35 or 45 that have like, just like literally like no life. Like they can't, I feel bad. Like they can't do anything in their lives. Like they're just like arguing with each other like over fucking like Dalvin Cook. Like his like 2 fantasy point difference projection, or that he didn't do well today, didn't get in the end zone on his goal line touch. Like, Jesus Christ, guy. Like, go see the sun. Go eat some nachos somewhere else. Right? Drink some beers. But some guy reached out to me and he was like, are you still going to be on this fade Derrick Henry train? I'm not on fade Derrick. Like, I'm not actively trying to get 0%. I do the projections. He projects out good. He doesn't project out as good as other guys, so I don't get a lot of him. Only 2 times this year. 1 time, actually, because last week it didn't hurt me. Although I would have liked to have Derrick Henry last week. Didn't hurt me because we had Tyreek Hill, luckily. So only 1 time this year is not playing Derrick Henry burnt me. And that's the game that in overtime, it took him in overtime and an 80-yard touchdown to get there. So I don't really feel bad about not getting Derrick Henry when I don't, because his 20-point performances or his 18-point performances don't kill me. And only once this year has it hurt me. So I'll feel pretty good about those other 13 weeks. My kids just ask, is that the Dollarooski guy? Please yell it out for them. Great job, Sal. Ronnie, what are you kids doing? Good morning. Yo. Yes. Today we're going to be trying to collect the Dollarooskis to your kids, have them set up a lemonade stand, have them do whatever they want, try and secure those Dollarooskis early in life so that later in life they can relax a little bit. But yes, the Dollarooskis. I like that. Stay away from the brewskis, though, until you're 21. What about the Falcons D versus New Orleans? Yeah, defense, I literally, this will be the first time all week I've looked at anything to do with defenses. Price-wise, my exposures, anything. I delete them to begin the week. I have 7% Falcons defense. You ask for analysis on that, I'll tell you, random. I randomize the defenses. I don't really put too much thought into it. Like, trying to pin down the defense that scores today, you're just wasting your time and driving yourself crazy. There's no skill in that. There's no skill. You can fade ownership. That's probably your biggest skill. Do you like Adams and Sanders as a secondary stack? Seems fine. I have Evan Ingram, but nervous because I want to take advantage of the Cleveland matchup. What do you do, Sal? The Cleveland matchup? I mean, I don't know what you're asking me here. What are you asking me? The Cleveland and Evan Ingram, they're not playing each other. First time here, says Chris Cox. Welcome. If you're a first timer, let me know. Hit that subscribe button, by the way, Chris. But how you doing? How's your day going so far? We currently got 900 people in here. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Wilkins today or Gesicki? Gesicki. Is Cook's top ceiling for running backs? Yes. These are some of the wide receivers. Wilkins today or Gesicki? Gesicki. Mooney or Higbee flex? Mooney. I'll go for the upside. How do you like Trey Burton today? Don't like it. I'd rather just go elsewhere. I might have like 1% Trey Burton. I have 1% Trey Burton, yes. Chris Cox, brand new in here, says thanks. No problem. Same to you. Do you use any settings when building super draft lineups? Yeah, I do. Randomness is going to become very important. I mean, projections alone right now are a big edge, but randomness is going to become very important on super draft. Uniques will become important as well, but randomness is probably your biggest way to get different. First time in the live stream, says Ron. What's up, Ron? How you doing? Good morning, Sal. Gallman or James White? Higher projected today for you. Thanks, bud. He hit me with he said bruh. I was going to say, he said the bud. I was going to feel degraded. Gallman, I have James White for 9.9 points. I have Gallman for 11.2, so Gallman for me. What's your Allen Robinson? Sal, please spend about 30 minutes on defense. Sarcasm. Mims or Drake season long? I'll go Denzel Mims. Drake's been good. Kenny Drake's been good. Everybody quietly. Like, Drake's going to be a guy in the offseason if he continues this final month of the year to do decent at least. He's going to be a guy in the offseason that everybody felt terrible about Kenny Drake to start the year, albeit behind a bad offensive line, and part of it probably because he stunk. But Drake these last couple weeks, 24.3 fantasy points last week, right? I mean, he's not doing good on a per-touch basis because his line sucks, but 25 touches, 93 yards, 2 tutties, 16 fantasy points the week before that. I mean, Drake's been decent this last month and a half or so, right? Double-digit fantasy points in every game but one since returning, so if he continues that quietly, people will be at the end of the year. Oh, Kenny Drake's actually decent wherever he goes next. Thanks, bruh. Perriman, good value at 3,900. I prefer Mims from his team and a lot of other value wide receivers. He's decent. I need some more dollar brewskis to buy my brewskis. Yeah, I might get a brewski today. I think I'm going to go watch these games somewhere downtown. So I might get some brewskis today, some Amber Ales or something. So I got Josh Allen, Diggs, and Lindsey. Tough. Rap sources are hilarious. Last week, Hurts props were juiced up on FanDuel due to his report. I smashed the unders. Yeah, you got to smash the unders on whatever Rap says. Rappaport's been... I'm seeing that where our connection is getting a little bit worrisome. Everything on my end looks fine, but... Okay, we're back to normal. I think it was just a slight drop. A little bit of hiccup. The Wi-Fi was taking a little bit of a mental break for a second there. Landry or Hunt opposite Tannehill? Landry. Thielen or James Robinson? James Robinson. Currently putting the defenses in the washing machine to know which one I'm playing. Yeah, exactly. And if it's above $2,500, pick the next one. Jefferson today, I got like 6% Jefferson, so below the field. How do you like Shark today? I don't. I don't think I have much, which might be a weak point in my game because I do think that Mike Lennon is going to be at least decent to sustain downfield usage, but I have no Shark today. No Sharks for me, Papi. Thoughts on David Montgomery? Oof. I'm glad you asked. Fully fading that motherfucker. Nah, not fully fading him, but very close to full fading David Montgomery today. I've got 5%. He's going to be like 25% owned. I don't see the point. I got Myles Gaskin projecting out better. I got Devontae Booker projecting out better. Gaskin lower owned. Booker similarly owned. I'm just not going to get to it. David Montgomery's fine. Projects out fine, but high ownership on a guy that very much so is going to be relying on his on-the-ground usage. Yeah, good matchup. All that's fine. I'm not going to be getting too much David Montgomery. 5%. Sal, do you need a Christmas ale brewski? Oh, that sounds pretty cool. No Justin Jefferson? You got like 5 or 6%. $5 donation from DJ Vertigo. Doesn't ask a question, just donates. I appreciate that. Do you like Cooper Kupp? I got 8% Cooper Kupp. I'll slide down on the other wide receivers that are like basically in my player pool at a 3 to 5%, 3 to like 8% clip. So these are the other wide receivers. There's a lot of them. As you can see, there's going to be like 40 or so in my exposures because I'm playing 150. How do you like James White? Not that much. I think I have one lineup of James White. I have 2 lineups of James White today. So these are the wide receivers. Lamar or Kyler, now that we know Lamar will be back. Kyler. Any love for the Vegas receivers today? I don't think so. No. I never really get much of them or any. I got no ownership to the Vegas receivers. The only guy from Vegas I have ownership towards today is Booker and slight ownership to Waller. Who do you have in your Dalvin Cook comebacks? I don't stack Dalvin Cook with anybody. I stack his quarterback with players. So Dalvin Cook is a comeback option if I was to play Jacksonville stacks, which I'm not. So Aaron Jones, good leverage off Rodgers and Adams. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see that much ownership there, or as much as people expect. Adams is normally owned. Like Rodgers might be like 7%, 8% owned today. Adams is not going to be anywhere near as highly owned as he should be. I have Adams coming in 20% owned. Like you stack them up, you don't have to get off of that. But yeah, Aaron Jones will be decent leverage. Like Aaron Jones is also going to be owned though, not highly owned, but he'll be owned. I have Aaron Jones currently coming in at 10% ownership, maybe 12%, somewhere around there. So yeah, I'm going to be. You're not getting that much leverage. Like I think it's kind of like a 1-to-1 comparison. Adams and Jones are pretty evenly owned. T.Y. needs Andrew Luck throwing, probably. Also a couple years younger and a couple less injuries. Julio is going to be God this week. Hope so. Jonathan Taylor, question mark? Not for me. Cook and Cute or Eckler and Woods, somebody asks me. Eckler and Woods. Let's get different. What about Vegas D? Yeah, I don't care about defense. Lattimore on Julio today. Great. That's a fantastic matchup for Julio. Can we see the tight end page? Yes, you can see my tight end. You can see my tight end. Bang. Thoughts on Mayfield today? Yeah, Mayfield, similar to Phillip Rivers and these other guys. His ceiling is like 22, 24 fantasy points, right? Like, you can get Mayfield's best day today, and you're still going to be wondering, how the hell did I not cash? Like, you can watch Mayfield go for 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, and like 30 rushing yards, have 24 fantasy points for you, and then you look at your lineups, and you're not cashing in any of them with your Mayfield lineups. How did I not do that? Because there's multiple quarterbacks scoring 30-plus points in the slate. Like, this is not a year. Last year it started. The year before that, you can punt quarterback, you can play the Jared Goff at 5,500 and actually succeed because when they score 22 fantasy points, it's enough. You need to, at minimum, score like 25 now to even have a chance as your quarterback winning. Hey, Sal, what position do you find yourself punting on the most other than defense? I feel like I always try to save at the tight end position, but don't know if that's a good strategy. I mean, naturally punting to Anthony Firsker. There's a couple of wide receivers that are cheap this week that I'm going to get a lot of. Kiki Kute, some of the Bears guys. So there's not like a specific. I never punt quarterback really, so not punting there. Running back, like I'm not punting minimum price 4K, but there's a lot of 5K really strong running backs. I mean, naturally I'm punting Anthony Firsker, but there's not like a specific position that I'm looking to punt in like a lineup this week. Firsker at $2,500 makes a lot of sense though. Hopkins or Cooks, PPR. If you could just pick one in your lineup, Hopkins. Most overrated player this week, probably David Montgomery. Who's a good run back against Atlanta? Yeah, that's your issue. It's going to be Michael Thomas. I don't really want anything else from that team. Nothing else. I mean, Kamara you can get to. He's cheaper now. I do think that they're probably going to try to get him more involved in the passing game because that helps. But yeah, I don't think that's going to help too much. Should I start Jefferson or Lockett today? I would be going with Jefferson. Julio or Devontae Parker? Julio. Yeah, you can see my tight end. Somebody says, yep. Your number one value play today. It'll depend on position. It's going to depend on which position you're looking at. There's multiple guys. I mean, Anthony Firsker is probably the number one value play, but that's not going to shock anybody. Brandon Cooks is very close to Firsker. These are not going to shock you, though. These are going to be the guys that are highly owned for a reason because everybody and their mother, their brother, their sister, their aunt, their uncle knows who the values are. What about Sammy Watkins? Should I pick him up tonight? Yeah, I mean, I don't cover the night slates. I usually just take that off and I don't really look into it. So, yeah, you can go for it. I think he's a sneaky captain option. But, yeah, Sammy Watkins, decent. On the Chiefs, plays wide receiver. They score a lot of points. Yep. That all checks out. Sounds good to me. I like doing the Spags podcast this week with Pete Overzet. He just posted our picks for this week, special guest picks. I like it. Thoughts on Matt Ryan, Sal? I got 5% Matt Ryan. So Matthew Ryan, I got 4% of it in 6 of my lineups. He looks decent today. But like again, he's my 4, 5, 7th highest owned quarterback, so it's not like it's crazy. Not my first time here, Sal, every Sunday and love it. Thanks, Sal, says Richard. What's up, Richard? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good day. Booker or Montgomery? I got more Booker by a lot right now. Gallman or Booker? Booker. First year projected ownership. Last I updated ownership was this morning, 19%. No Baker for you. I got 3% Baker, and I don't even want those lineups, to be honest with you. Running back page, please. Was Denzel Mims a yes on your page? Yeah, he was. Yeah, here's the running backs page again. If you're still here right now, also hit that like and subscribe. Be sure to support Jock Market. It helps this channel out a lot. If you're there, you just tuning in for free. Most people are, right? Not everybody in here is a patron. We do have 630 patrons now, but obviously we have more people in here right now. More people are going to watch on the replay. About 1,000 people. Appreciate all your beautiful faces so much in here right now, spending your time with this stream. I know a lot of other people stream. There's a lot of other things you can be doing on a Sunday morning. Hanging out with friends, family, yourself, your Netflix, whatever you got to be doing, sleeping, all these things, right? So I appreciate you being here. If you want to help out the channel and support, if you want to just go on your phone right now, I'm sure it's within arm's reach. 99% of you probably within arm's reach if you have a cell phone. If you want to go to Jock Market, download that. Totally free to do so. They are the proud sponsor of this Sunday morning live stream. They make all this happen, so supporting the show, they do. So if you want to support them, using the code SAL10, if you want to make a deposit, you can play the free games as well. You'll get $10 free. We'll look at the Jock Market in a little while, probably around 11 o'clock during that last hour. But you get to buy stocks and players. It's pretty fun, right? So if you want to have a little bit of a different sweat in DFS, not building these salaries, just saying, you know what, I'm buying stock in Julio Jones today. Not a lot of people are going to be high on him because he's coming off an injury. We had a lot of Julio that week. He ended up being outscored by just one player, I think, on like Monday Night Football. I can't remember who it was. Might have been Dalvin Cook. Can't remember. Or actually, it was Tyler Lockett. That was Tyler Lockett's 4-touchdown game. That was that same week, I believe. But yes, helped us a lot that week. Good morning, Sal. Dollarooski's time, says Colin T. What's up? Any Coulter this week? Not for me, but Coulter's an interesting play. Any projections you look at, including mine, are not going to aggressively project Coulter. You can't sit here and project an undersized wide receiver that played at a small school who's going to go face Xavier Rhodes today to score 10-plus fantasy points, right? Like, I got Coulter projected in the single digits, the mid to low single digits. But he's an interesting play because he's going to run a lot of routes. Now, also, I think Steven Mitchell will run some routes. So I don't think, if anything, Coulter is nowhere near a full-time player today. He's like at best a part-time split player. I think the tight ends see more routes. I think Kute and Brandon Cooks see more routes. So like he's probably the 4th to 5th at best. Like he's like the 5A, 5B with Steven Mitchell, I think, today. Why no love for Taysom Hill? Can you explain to me how you feel confident in stacking up? I'm game stacking everything today. So quarterback plus 2 of his pass catchers, running it back with 1 to 2 guys. I don't know. Taysom Hill to Michael Thomas, that sounds like shit to me. Where's the next guy? Jared Cook, Emmanuel Sanders? I fail to see the upside in that. Kiki Kute, low salary, high upside. I think Kiki Kute is low salary, mid upside. I don't think there's a massive ceiling on Kiki Kute. I think he could see 10 targets today, but his average depth of target, he was targeted deep downfield, like for a 40-yard catch. Would have hit the over on that prop on Thanksgiving. Just overthrown / dropped it, diving. Is Aaron Rodgers your highest home quarterback this week? Out of respect, yes, but no, he's not. Let's go. I'm reaching the playoffs. Yeah, I need a win today, guys. I don't know if you guys want me to post my sleeper matchup in my season-long league. I've lost, obviously. I think I don't actually think I've ever won my league. But I finished second last year. I've gotten a couple second places. But I need to win to actually get in the playoffs this year because I've been screwed by Christian McCaffrey. So, yeah, if you guys want to follow along, I can post a link to Sleeper. How do you feel about QBX comments on Cook being banged up? Yeah, I mean, every player's banged up to this point. I think that they could give less touches to him, but in a meaningful game, they're not going to. Like, the Vikings are fighting for a playoff spot, so unless they're in control, yeah, like in the second half, if they're up by 20, you're probably going to see Madison, who's out for this game. You're probably going to see, Mike Boone, if he's still in this fucking roster, all-star in the preseason. You're probably going to see Mike Boone see more touches if they get up by 3 scores in the second half. Other than that, no. Always appreciate the advice. Why did you switch from Carson from a yes to a no? Didn't get as much, and Carlos Hyde was active. I like Carson a lot more for Carlos Hyde, who seemed to be leaning towards questionable. Now he's active. Who do you have, Woods or Kupp Pro? I have 13% Woods and 9% Kupp. I like Deshaun Watson today. Anybody else? Yeah, I like Deshaun Watson. Hey, Sal, I appreciate your tweet about opening your DMs. Much respect. Thanks, Hunter Vanessa. I appreciate that. Hunter Vanessa, are you related to Michael Vanessa and Marissa and all them? But yeah, no problem, Hunter. Do you have Woods or Kupp for projected for more points? I will let you know. I have more Woods today, but that's also going to be salary related. I have Woods for 14.5 points, and I have Mr. Cooper hold my Kupp at 14.6. So I have them for the same. So that's why I get more Woods, because he's cheaper. Booker or Montgomery? I got more Booker. Prefer 9K option today. Out of these running backs, Cook over Henry for me. Who's the best Jaguars wide receiver to play today? Probably Shark. Ertz, question mark? Not for me. I think Ertz is going to be very limited today, and he stinks anyways, but very limited today. Ertz or Goddard today? By far Goddard. What is Kute's ownership? Kiki Kute is going to be highly owned, probably 20+% owned. And that's probably too high owned, but I'm getting more than that, which is concerning me. I got Kute at 18.5%. That's a lot for a slot wide receiver that's not going to be targeted downfield all that much, but the target share is just going to be increased today. So Coulter is 6'3", isn't he? Not saying how you're projecting him wrong. How you're projecting him is wrong. Yeah, so I know what you're saying. Coulter, last time I checked, he's like 198 pounds. He's out of Rhode Island, barely cracked 1,000 yards in his best year there. So Isaiah Coulter, not somebody that I feel all that confident in getting open against a cornerback who has 36 pounds on him in Xavier Rhodes and who has been good this year. So, yeah, Coulter right now, he comes out of college at 6'2", 198 pounds, average size hands. But, I mean, 5th round pick that has no agility, no catch radius, no burst, pedestrian speed, pedestrian 40 time. Hey, Sal, may I see your wide receiver lineups, please? Lineups? Nah, but you can see these exposures. So, yeah, Coulter, he's interesting today because of the fact that nobody knows what the potential upside is. But I think that we could be having the same conversation about Steven Mitchell in the same way, right? Like, nobody's talking about Steven Mitchell today. Nobody's talking about Coulter either. Like, they're questioning it, but nobody's actually putting him into their lineups. He'll be very low owned, if anything. But Steven Mitchell, the other wide receiver that's going to get the shot at the outside, who actually has running routes in the NFL experience, yeah, I don't think either of them are great options, but they're interesting to say the least. Thoughts on Wayne Gallman versus Seattle defense? He's been sneaky good for 5 games now, scoring in each of those games. Yeah, he's been very touchdown dependent. Now he doesn't have a quarterback who can move the offense as well with Colt McCoy out there facing a very good defense. So, yeah, Wayne Gallman I'm not going to be as interested in today. Is it okay to stack Lazard instead of Adams for GPP with Rodgers? Yes, like you can go Lazard MVS. I am in this matchup going to be going every single time to Adams plus somebody else, though. Quarterback page, please, Jan, a second. Robinson or Julio? Which Robinson? I have more Allen Robinson today, but I like both a lot. They both project out very similar for me. Allen Robinson and Julio are Julio's going to be lower owned, so if you need to get different, I have Robinson for 17.6 fantasy points. I have Julio for... Where the fuck is Julio in these projections? Julio is 17.1. So I have Allen Robinson projected for more, but I like both of them a lot. Humphreys outscores Kute. Sounds good. Wouldn't doubt it. One line, would you prefer Adams or Cooks? I mean, Adams for sure, but you got a big salary difference there of like $4,000 fucking dollars, $3,500. Are you not big on Metcalf this week? Yeah, I mean, naturally, not a lot of people are going to be just based on the price point, which makes him a nice low-owned play. But I like Metcalf. I'm getting more Adams. I'm getting more Robinson. I'm getting more of all these other guys, right? getting more Hopkins, more Keenan Allen. Just they fit into stacks better. They project out better for me. So, yeah, I guess by default, I'm not bigger on Metcalf, which is normally a mistake, but it's okay. Like, unless he scores 30 plus, he's probably not going to kill me. And I like the way that I'm getting those other guys more. Would you stack Parker with Tua? I mean, yeah, he's in all my groups to stack, but I'm just not getting much right now, sadly. Sadly, good sir, I'm not getting much right now because I don't get any Tua. Because I don't trust Mr. Tua. Alrighty. I thought Allen Robinson was hurt. Knee. No, he's expected to play. Any love for Kerryon Johnson? No, sir. No love for Mr. Kerryon Johnson. Hey, Sal, are these cash game projections? They're median projections, so they work for everything. Cash, GPPs. I don't play cash, but I'm using these for GPPs. There's also no projections on the screen, by the way. I don't know what you're looking at for projections. The projections are on Patreon. The stuff on the screen is just statistics for the year and fantasy points per game. Like, nothing on the screen is a projection. This column right here, fantasy points per game, that's fantasy points per game, not projection. Fantasy points projected, that's not that. Fantasy points per game is just how many points they scored per game so far this year. Yeah, none of these are projections. They're all on Patreon. You can find down below if you want to support there. Because, yeah, I mean, if you're not going into, if you're trying to actually win money building lineups, if it's just for entertainment, that's fine, right? But if you're trying to actually win money and you're not using legitimate projections, legitimate ownership projections, you are not going to win long term. You might win, like, get lucky, but when people are using, it's like trying to take it's like you trying to take the test that your people around you are taking when they study their ass off and you didn't look at anything, right? You didn't even look at the books. Mims, Kute, or Ruggs? I'll go Mims there. Hey, Sal, if they're setting a lineup on SuperDraft, can you alter it? Change out players. Yes, you can, sir. Yo, Sal, the go. Keep it up. Great work. Thank you, Jason. Too kind. Hopkins or Julio today? I believe that I have more of Mr. Hopkins. I have more Hopkins, but it's pretty close. They're both around like a 20%. What do we got today? Gaskin or Hines? Gaskin, and it's not even close. I got about 50+% more Gaskin. Belichick likely schemes out Keenan Allen. You can try and think that, yeah. I mean, it's pretty difficult to weight that heavily into your projections. Also, explain to me how you scheme out an elite route running slot wide receiver. I'll wait. Like, I get it. If you're going to pick one person that the Bill Belichick schemes out, which he couldn't scheme out Will Fuller, he couldn't scheme out anybody against that team. He's had trouble scheming out people because his entire defense has been hurt or sitting out for COVID. But Bill Belichick, let's say he picks Keenan Allen to scheme out. How do you scheme out a slot wide receiver who runs a lot of his routes from 0 to 10 yards of the line of scrimmage? I mean, I'm sure there's a way, but you're going to double team a slot wide receiver? No. Like, a lot of the times when you scheme out a player, you're scheming out outside wide receivers because you can double team them. You can have a safety coverage over help. Safety coverage over help to a slot wide receiver who's running 10-yard routes is not really going to do much. Who is an elite route runner who, no matter how you try and scheme a one-on-one matchup, his route running is his ability to get open. That's why you can't scheme out Devontae Adams. That's why you can't scheme out Stephon Diggs and Keenan Allen, right? So I'm not really concerned about the whole scheming out Keenan Allen thing. But I get why people think that. I just don't think it's going to happen. If you don't play Nick Boyle out at tight end, you aren't cashing today. I would agree with that. Are you doing any Raiders stacks versus the Jets? Nah. Any love for AP? Nah. Shepard or Gordon the flex? Shepard. Boyd or Higgins today? Boyd. Rodgers or Herbert? I have basically equal amounts of both. Flip a coin. If I had to build one lineup, I'd probably build it with Rodgers, but I have equal amounts of both. Somebody says it's all about luck. Who's to say someone won't get hurt that's projected high or even has a bad game? It's all about luck. I mean, that's part of it. To win the first place Millie Maker or first place of any contest, you need a large amount of luck. But yeah, your ability to get lucky is based on your ability to put yourself in a good situation, right? So luck is when basically opportunity meets hard work. Like, that's a legitimate thing. You don't get lucky sitting on your couch all day. You don't get lucky in the morning entering your Millie Maker lineup after not doing anything, right? No, you lose. You just lose, right? You just lose. But if you put time in, if you know projections, if you know tools, you set yourself up in a situation to get lucky. You don't measure yourself on how many victories you have in DFS. It's how many times you're in like that top 10%, how many times you're in that top 1% of outcomes. Because yes, once you're in the top 1% and you're in like 12th place of a contest out of 10,000 people, at that point, you're getting lucky, right? You're going to have to get lucky to win first place. But you're up there for a reason if you're consistently doing it. So, yeah, you get bad luck if somebody gets hurt. Of course, there's luck involved in this. There's no way that there's not. But I truly believe that you're not getting lucky unless you're putting the work in and you just get opportunity, right? Hard work and opportunity is what equals luck. Yeah. Sal, if you had to choose Wu-Tang or Wu-Tang, I don't know what the hell that means. Would you stack Allen with Eckler in a GPP? Yeah, he's the only running back allowed to stack with a quarterback this week. What are the Herbert stack options and bringbacks? Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, Austin Eckler. Those are the stack options. Bring it back with basically just like Jacoby Myers, some James White. If you want to get to N'Keal Harry and Bird, it's okay. But basically mainly Jacoby Myers. Shout out from Asheville. I was in Asheville about a month and a half ago, 5-6 weeks ago. Very nice place. Very nice place. Hiked some mountains. I forget the one that we hiked. It had a funny name. I have it on my Instagram. Actually, I don't have any social media on my phone, but yeah, if you check my Instagram, I posted it. Pretty cool. We went to one of the peaks. Running back page, yeah. You're absolutely right as well. Nice. Hey Sal, what's your go-to defense this week? I've been focusing on the Falcons. Yeah, I don't know. Just throwing. I have some Falcons. I have a lot of Seahawks, Lions. I don't really care about defense. I have no help to offer you from a defense perspective. Just close your eyes and guess. Who are you using in the Detroit comeback stacks? Detroit, a lot of Hawkinson mainly. My DraftKings app is messed up. I'm trying to plug Rodgers in all of my positions and it won't let me. Can any of you two tech gurus help me? Please send that same message to DraftKings support and screenshot and send it to me on Twitter, their response. That was a wonderful retort on luck, Sal. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, look. Some people just get lucky, but if you're going to live your life and try and live your DraftKings way of just getting lucky, like straight out luck, like winning the lottery luck, right? Like that's just straight out luck. There's no hard work or opportunity meeting that, right? That's just straight out luck. But if you're going to live your life trying to hit that type of luck, the 0.00001% outcomes, you're going to have a very sad and unfulfilling life. An unfulfilling DFS life, right? Yeah, hard work opportunity. Definitely have to put the hard work into your lineups. I agree. Mims or Perriman? Mims. Rudolph or Tonyan? I have like 5% of each. If you're not stacking, I'd go Rudolph. If you're stacking, like obviously Packers, I'd go Tonyan. So yeah, Rudolph is a one-off. Frank Gore, in or out? I don't want him. Expectations for David Johnson coming back from IR. Got him projected for like 9.5 fantasy points, so not much expectations. How about A.J. Brown? How do you feel about him today? Overpriced. Julio ownership today, I've got about 20%. Julio's going to come in nowhere near 20%. I got Julio coming in at like 2 or 3%. That'll probably come up, though, as he is officially active in the next hour. I'm a competitive poker player and have done well for myself. So many people have commented how lucky I am over the years. I roll. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to you, man. Obviously, you've gotten lucky, but a big part of that is because you legit know what you're doing, right? Like, I think I had one person from Penn State, like, discuss with me on the phone, like, once they realized that the stuff that I was doing on YouTube was literally way better than any option I had coming out of grad school. They said, like, wow, you set yourself up nice for yourself. You got in a lucky time or any of this stuff. The time was definitely beneficial, but no, like, just if you're just a guy at home sitting on your couch and you're like, yeah, I would like to make a YouTube channel, you don't get lucky, right? You don't get lucky if you don't take the actions and learn a lot about it and put the work in. You make 3 videos, you're not getting lucky off of those, trust me, in this space. You need 1,000 plus. Do you stack on Fantasy Draft? Fantasy Draft is no longer a website. It was acquired by Monkey Knife Fights. So I would, but it's no longer a website. So if you're talking about Super Draft, you don't have to, though. At a 2x multiplier, would you play First on Super Draft? Sal, first time playing, not sure if he's that good of a play. I'll let you know right now, Sean, where First ranks for me on Super Draft. First is currently my number 1 tight end on Super Draft. I have him projected for 16.8 fantasy points, which is 0.9 more points than any other tight end. My man, Sean, go crush it on Super Draft. Eckler or Robinson today? I like Austin Eckler. I mean, the answer is probably going to be Austin Eckler for any of those answers. Who's your favorite stack compared to the ownership today? I don't really care about stack ownership. Stack ownership doesn't mean shit to me because, like, you're going to get that from quarterbacks, right? So if you have a subscription or something that tells you Aaron Rodgers is 7% owned today, that does not mean his stack is 7% owned at all. His full-on game stack in most tournaments is likely less than 1%. In the higher stakes, it might be 3-4%, right? Maybe 5-6 if everybody's stacking. So I don't really care what my stacks are. Like, my 30% ownership on Deshaun Watson today, even if he's 10% owned, I'm going to be 30 times the field on his game stacks, his 4 to 5 man stacks, right? They're going to be 1% owned, 2% owned at most in some tournaments. So, like, I have leverage on every single stack that I own is going to be leveraged. Sal, what's good, broski? Just finished the Closing Thoughts podcast, and we live, says Austin. Austin, great morning for you, my man. Thoughts on Jordan Reed? No interest right now because Jordan Reed plays on the Monday night game, right? Or Sunday? Whenever he plays, he's not on the main slate, so I have no thoughts. Thoughts on Colt McCoy hitting 13 points today? I currently have Colt McCoy projected out for DraftKings scoring for 14.7, so I'll take the over. Joe, what's up, Joe? Hope you're having a good day. He says, this cat, hey, I'm a motherfucking wildcat. Call me that motherfucking leopard out there. He says, this cat Gives the best advice without all the bullshit at pace unmatched. Facts. Thanks. I appreciate that, man. Too kind. Chubb, no passing, and Hunt steals TDs. Yeah, best of luck. To Sal, I know we were into the running backs, but I'm terrified Hopkins is going to burn me. As in, you're playing him or you're not. Yeah, I mean, Hopkins is not coming down to him. It's coming down to if Kyler's shoulder is healthy or not. So I'm projecting it as if Kyler is basically fine. So we'll see. Tough matchup, though. As a Colts fan, going to drop you some knowledge. T.Y. always shreds them. Always. Okay, but how many of those times did he have Phillip Rivers as his quarterback with Michael Pittman on his team in a run-first offense? And he's also old as fuck. But, I mean, coming off his best game for sure. Can we see the tight ends? You can see my tight end, yes. Eckler and Kute or Montgomery and Cooks? Eckler. The answer is Eckler. Sal, this is my first week of being a patron. The information on Patreon is insane. Thanks for the work that you put in. Seth, trust me, this is not like a comedy show or something where I planted somebody in the stands to laugh or to do something, right? I didn't pay Seth. Seth's just giving the flat-out quote, so it must be true. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate that. If you want to sign up for Patreon, you can check it out down below. Patreon.com/Sal_Vetri_. T.Y.'s dusty. Potentially. Tua is starting? Yeah, we'll know for sure in 50 minutes, hopefully. Was watching my Super Draft lineup with the Ravens game. That late touchdown fucked you. You were on top. Oh, you were talking about me. Yeah, so I had multiple lineups in that Super Draft thing for the Ravens. But yeah, I was winning first place until that Hollywood Brown late touchdown. It fucked me. I was winning the 4K first place. It ended up being a good week still. But yeah, I think I played 18, 19 lineups that night on Super Draft. Jones or Robinson at running back? I'll go Robinson. Eckler, oxygen, Sal. Eckler for sure. Can you stack Julio and Ridley? Yes. Hey, Sal, Pittman, Shark, or Dobbins? Pittman. How you really feel about T.Y. Hilton? T.Y. Hilton I have in... He's going to be mainly just a run back. I have 1% T.Y. Hilton, 2 lineups. That is how I really feel. Can we see the quarterbacks? Yep. I hope it's Fitz. I hope so too, but the Ian Rappaport sketchy reporting that is not ever secure at this point says otherwise. Thoughts on Gallman? I like all the other guys in that range. Make sure you're all watching Sal's One Dude video. It's great knowledge. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully you all enjoy it. Sign up for Patreon this week. Best in the biz. Sal, keep it up. Thank you, Kane. Too kind. Thoughts on Cousins, Thielen, Jefferson, stack, heavy stack? I think it's okay. I think Rudolph makes for a better option than both those wide receivers, but I think it's okay. Jonathan Taylor or Kenyon Drake? Taylor. Any concern about Swain and routes run hurting Firsker? No. I mean, Swain's not running routes. Swain has ran 14 routes in the last 3 weeks. Firsker literally ran more than that in his last full game. Any ownership on Cole Kmet? No, never. What about Kirk Cousins? I have 3%. I think he'll probably be over-owned, but I have 3%. How has Parker played with Tua at quarterback? Not that great because Tua has played like shit. That's the honest answer there for you. Not that great because Tua himself has played like shit. Lowest own early game stack, please. Look, guys, when it comes to stacks ownership, I don't give a shit about it, right? Because it doesn't matter. Like any game stack, any stack that's going to be 4 to 5 guys in your lineup is going to be in most of your contests, unless you're playing in that like $300 to $500+ stakes, it's going to be like 1% owned. And less than 1% owned, right? You playing a lineup today that has Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, run it back with Jacoby Myers and James White is going to be 1% owned. You even playing the chalkiest of stacks, right? Deshaun Watson, who's only 10% owned, projected. Deshaun Watson, Brandon Cooks, Kiki Kute, that lineup right there that you run back with Michael Pittman, if you just leave it at that, that's going to be 1% or less owned. So I don't care about the low owned stacks because they're all low owned. They're all low owned. That's the lovely thing about stacking. You get high upside for low ownership. How do you feel about James Robinson? I like him. He's one of my higher owned running backs, even though he's a big underdog, which is concerning. I have him in 23% of my lineups, which makes him my 4th highest owned running back. Senek Disick donates these 40, whatever these are, these 40 fake dollars. He says, who would you pick captain in Browns versus Titans game? Yeah, so honestly, man, Browns versus Titans, I don't even know what these captain prices are, so I can't give you a real answer. But since you donated fake money, I'm going to have to try and give you an answer right here. Browns versus Titans, you can imagine that Derrick Henry will be popular. A.J. Brown will be popular. I think that Landry is still a sneaky option. So is Rashad Higgins if they target downfield. So if you're looking at the Browns, I would go Landry or Kareem Hunt. The options on the other side, Anthony Firsker is probably cheap enough to possess some upside. But it would be A.J. Brown and Henry. It's the obvious options on Tennessee because they're the only ones who have really hit a major ceiling. I'd prefer them to Corey Davis. Patreon is hands down my best DFS investment I've ever made. Got on board last year, says Jason. My man Jason, thank you. Any interest in Hunt, Sal? I think Hunt's a sneaky GPP play, but I can't get there. Like, I don't know how people are getting there unless they're forcing him in. Anything to do with projections and ownerships are just way better options in the range, especially for the workload. Gaskin, Booker, or Montgomery? Gaskin. How do you feel about Aguilar? Seems to be forgotten today. Yeah, because he stinks. Look, Nelson Aguilar has like one game where he scores 14 fantasy points and everybody lost their minds this year. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's consistent. He's running routes out there on a team that has 2 rookies. One that stinks in Brian Edwards, or at least is not playing well, and another one that stinks and is not playing well in Henry Ruggs. So, yeah, Nelson Aguilar, when he comes out and scores 20 fantasy points in Week 11, it's obviously going to turn some heads. And he does it against the Chiefs defense where they're playing from behind, where it's on an island game, right? Like Nelson Aguilar, you're probably getting 8 to 10 points. 40 fake dollars, yeah, for sure. Ownership on Akins. I don't really like my ownership on Akins. I wish I had a little bit more Fells because I think they're pretty similar plays. He's going to come in. I have him projected for 11%. I've got a good amount of Akins today, though. I got 13% Akins. Said he donated fake cryptocurrency. Sal, don't accept the super chat if it's going to hack and empty your bank account. No, this man's been donating those. I was told what they are. I don't know if it's a different region. I don't know what they are, to be honest with you. Sam, my boy Tulsa Jacobs isn't playing. Tulsa Jacobs? What does that mean? Josh Jacobs? It's real money. It's a different currency. All right, I got you. Any interest in Furker? Yeah, he's my highest on tight end, 30+%. Those are Sal bucks. I like those. Those are fun coupons. Shout out Wolf of Wall Street, the fun coupons. DK is effing slow. What you mean? DK Metcalf? And I know you mean DraftKings, but DK Metcalf is like maybe one of the fastest wide receivers in the league, which is scary because of how big he is. I just got your Patreon. I want the Dollaruski, says Ron. Ron, as I was legally advised to say in my stuff on Patreon, joining Patreon does not legally require you to earn the Dollaruskis, but it will significantly enhance your information and ability to win the Dollaruskis. Under 4K value wide receivers. My under 4K value wide receivers are going to be guys that I have ownership under 4K at wide receiver today. I'll let you know right now. Andy Isabella, probably my favorite. Kiki Kute, Andy Isabella and Kiki Kute. I have more Kute, but both of those guys are probably your best options. After that, Anthony Miller, Darnell Mooney, 4K flat Rashad Higgins, Damiere Byrd, N'Keal Harry, Brashad Perriman. Those are like the only guys I have ownership towards below that range. Trubisky hits 25 points today. Look, if Trubisky hits 25, Allen Robinson hits 30, and Anthony Miller hits like 18, that could win you a GPP. But 25 is like probably the threshold. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, my man. What is your fake money to real money exchange? LOL. Is this a 3 running back week? I don't specific. So like a lot of people ask, I know that you're probably building one lineup. 3 running backs or 3 receivers. If you're playing cash, 3 running backs is probably the way to go. Like some combination of Dalvin Cook, Gaskin, and Booker or Montgomery. But in GPPs, I'm getting a lot more 3 wide receivers or 4 wide receivers than 3 running backs just naturally, but I still get both. Like I'm not just only getting 4 wide receivers in my lineups. But 4 wide receivers is the way that I think to go because when I double stack, I'm automatically getting 2 wide receivers in my lineup. If I'm running it back, I'm getting at least probably 1 wide receiver more times than not. So in my final option, I'd rather go to the one-off wide receiver of a Julio Jones rather than a running back. But it also depends on that specific lineup in your stack. Sally V Dollaruskis. Hey, yeah, shout out that. Hey, Sal, thanks for the info. Thank you for having me. Hope you have a great day. Good luck, gents. Thanks, I appreciate that, man. You too. Thoughts on Ertz? I think he'll have his training wheels on, limited snaps, maybe runs 15 routes. Don't want it. Thoughts on Miles Sanders? I think he's a sneaky. He's our that one dude. If you have not yet watched the video, I think he's a sneaky upside play. Also, if you're still watching, hit that like and subscribe button. We've been live for a little bit over an hour. Probably go maybe a little after 11 right now, so we're having a damn good time right now. But I have 13% Miles Sanders. I don't love Miles Sanders. I just like him as a run back option. And he's low owned. He's going to be like 2% owned, so I think there's only upside at that point. If he hurts you, who cares? Sal, does that zit on your nose have a name? This actually isn't a zit. Somebody said that in one of the other videos. This is it was a blackhead and it wasn't ready to come out, and I don't think it's ever going to come out. And I have like the most sensitive skin. So like if you were to hit me with like I was gonna say a belt, I don't know why the fuck you'd hit me with a belt. But if you were to hit me at all, like slap me anything, it would leave a mark on my face for probably like 3 days. My skin is like as sensitive as it gets. So I got out of the shower, and I was like, I see some blackheads. So, you pushing them blackheads out, you're trying to keep your skin healthy. And no, that shit just started to not come out, push a little bit too hard. And now I got like a scab on it. But it wasn't a zit, truth be told. Like these are acne scars. Like none of these are zits. Like maybe 2 of them are. They're acne scars, but it's all from the mask, right? I haven't had acne in like 2 years. It's all from like these masks you got to put on because it like clumps up your skin. And if you got sensitive skin, I guess it fucks it up. So I got like some acne cream, Differin gel, and some antibiotics because it's all bacteria based. Juan donates $10 Ruskies to the stream. He says, breaking my head with this question. Vikings running game or passing game today? I want Cook, Cousins, and Thielen, but not all 3 together. Would you do Cook alone and Cousins and Thielen, or Cook and Thielen? Cook alone. Sal, do you like Lockett today? Thank you for the super chat, by the way, my man. Sal, do you like Lockett today? He won me 12K week 7. He might be under the radar. He's been under the radar for like a month now, and he hasn't done anything. So I'm not going to get to a lot of Lockett, mainly because I'm not getting to a lot of Russell Wilson. Sal, blackheads matter, somebody said. Yeah, somebody's going to edit this out for me to just say without the head. Imagine being worried about another man's skin complexion. Yeah, man, look, when I was in high school, I had some bad acne. I had some bad acne like 2 years ago. It came out of nowhere, and then I got like that Accutane stuff. When you've had acne for multiple years of your life, just random strangers pointing it out to you, anybody really pointing it out to you, it's just like, whatever, man. Like, I've accepted the fact that my skin is very sensitive, and any small thing, literally wearing a mask on my face, irritates it. So I'll take the acne if it saves some old lady at Trader Joe's when I'm shopping. But, yeah, I mean, if people think that they can try and knock the esteem in the man on top of the motherfucking hill right now and me down for saying, what's that on your nose? I mean, even if it was a pimple, I'd be like, man, I tried to pop a pimple and that shit got wild. That shit was bleeding. But no, this one was just a stubborn blackhead. And I don't even know if it's still there or not. I can't really tell because it's like lumped up anyways because I pushed the fucking shit out of it. Just join your Patreon. Thanks, up. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just got Patreon this week. It's nuts. Man, we got a lot of people liking the Patreon right now. Thank you, guys. And it's only going to get better because we have a month off of golf until the beginning of next year. Then golf projections are in there. And we got NBA starting up in a couple of weeks, which right now projections are going to be on NBA as well, value rankings. I'm hoping to get ownership in there. I'm just trying to find a site where I can to lynch the data off of so I can make ownership projections. But it's tougher for NBA because there's a lot more sites that offer it. Not a lot of people offer NBA for DFS ownership in terms of not ownership, but like finding the historical data needed to make proper projections instead of trying to take this whole year to just get the data and then do it next year. Because look, it's daily. It's a lot of work. Sal, how do you feel about Eckler? And also Eckler, I love. He's my highest on running back, 60+%. No real interest in Jonathan Taylor. Sal going to do the gritty. Hey, maybe one day. What we got here? Sal, you need to try Labrie skincare product for blackhead oil based aloe-based products. Interesting. Yeah, like anything I put on my face, I use like a Vino moisturizer. Anything I put on my face that has any type of chemicals, it'll fuck with it. You've been working on your gritty, Sal? No, I haven't, but I could definitely probably fucking pump that shit out. I think I might start rapping more. I like to write raps for fun. I record them sometimes. I think I might do it for fun. Hey, Sal, love your work. I need 2 running backs in a PPR league. CHE, Aaron Jones, Taylor, and Dobbins. I'll go Aaron Jones and... I mean, Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's got like the shits, right? He's got like the stomach problem. So, fuck, I have him in my main league. I need a win today. Literally, better get his shit together. Literally. I'm going to go with Taylor and Jones. I've had a blackhead on the side of my nose for the last 10 years. You need to go to a doctor so that they can suck that shit out of you, those Dr. Pimple Poppers. Offensive snap percentage for Kiki last week. I'll let you know in a second. Kiki Kute's offensive snap percentage last week, it's going to be all changed. Their offense is going to completely change now, right? There's no Will Fuller. He's going to maybe play on the outside some, although I don't think a lot. Kiki Kute played 58% of the snaps, a season high in Week 12 on Thanksgiving against the Detroit Lions. Brandon Allen as a value play, never in my life. No. Brandon Allen's value today is one of the worst on the slate. I have Brandon Allen as the third worst value at quarterback for 13.5 fantasy points. Sal does the gritty for the win, hopefully. How much Dylan you getting seems overpriced to me. Seems fairly priced. I get like 4%. Let me find out Sal got bars, yo. Yeah, I've made some reps. I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad with it. I would play it through the speaker and let it play on the air, but I think it might be, there's no like profanity. There probably is some profanity in it, but I think it might be like too loud. Like that's why I don't have like intro music for the streaming soon. I should just take the 5 minutes to learn how to properly implement it into the OBS thing, but I don't want it to be like okay on my end and on your end it's literally making you all deaf. But yeah, it's fun. I think it's a lot of fun. I spent a lot of time writing the raps in the past. Haven't done it in a little while now. That gritty looks like a 3-year-old doing the pee-pee dance. What are y'all talking about? When did I do the gritty? What y'all talking about? Wide receiver chart, please. Yeah. I'm just here for the Dollarooski, says Jason Hale. Shout out my man, Jason Hale. Please throw in a beat and a freestyle for us. I mean, I probably can't freestyle. Fuck no. I don't think most rappers can freestyle. I'm considering myself a rapper now. Notice that. But no, yeah. I made a New Orleans rap because we were supposed to go in April, but then COVID hit with all my buddies. And me and my buddy were going to make a rap. We made one before. Yeah. I can try. Let me see if I still have the lyrics for the New Orleans rap. I definitely will remember it if I can just have the beat to it. But we usually remix a song. I made multiple fantasy football raps. Nice, I like that. Sal, the key to getting rid of a blackhead is to first admit that you have a blackhead. Please help, black columns all over Patreon data sheets are killing me to print. Yeah, Palins, I mean, I don't think that's going to change, to be honest with you, man. Because if I make them all white, it becomes way less appealing. Which like sounds like it's like a weird thing to say, but like them being more appealing is like you can screenshot them. Just screenshot Control Shift Command 4, screenshot that, then you have a picture and you can print the picture. Because the black columns are going to be there, and even if the black columns aren't there, there's going to be white columns. Paul donates $2. He says need 2. MJG, Aguilar, Lamb, James White, Myers. Definitely Myers is the guy who stands out the most for me out of all those. I'll go Lamb second. Like the awesome opening music? Yeah, like just something like that. Like I just need some sort of opening music. It's very easy to do, but I just need to look how to actually do it properly. Let me know if you need some boom bat beats. Hey, shout out you. Yeah, you make some beats. That's awesome. I would like to learn to mix and master. That's probably like a second hobby I can do. I got a lot. Not the exact equipment needed, but I got a decent amount of equipment and understanding of how to use audio equipment. So you already have a Spotify channel. Put some rap songs on it. I don't think I got a Spotify channel, my man. I have like a Spotify name. Like I do have but you need like a different artist thing. Like I have my own Spotify account, which I have playlists on, but I also have my Spotify podcast. But yeah, I'm trying to find. I thought I had in my notes. Fuck it. You think we could just find this rap and just put it on? Should we just do that? Sal, what do we got here? Sal's Miles Gaskin can play today. Yeah, he's expected to play. He's off the IR. They took him off. Thoughts on Shark? Not having much. Do you have any videos that can help explain how to use your tools on Patreon? I do not have any videos, no. But if you want to ask me, I can let you know. I mean, the column for projection is projected points and value. Superdraft is a superdraft projections. Own percentages, their ownership. The higher owned does not necessarily mean bad, but it just lets you know that other people will also have him. So his fantasy points, expectation-wise, it's not going to be as meaningful if he hits that projection because he's going to be highly owned. He needs to outdo that projection then. Quarterback page, please. Any word on the XFL 2021? It's coming back in 2022. The Rock now is a part owner of the league. It's coming back in 2022. They're not coming out in 2021. Hey, Sal, Julio or Allen Robinson in a single entry? I'll go Allen Robinson for the salary savings. Or actually, no, he's $100 more. I don't know why I'm thinking Keenan Allen, you just said. I have Allen Robinson projected for a half a point more. E-Mastered Sal's works great if your record clean. Interesting. I don't know what that is, but I assume I know what that is. Projected ownership for Kyler, I haven't met 6%. I already have an original instrumental piece that would be great for your intro. I can send you an MP3. Interesting. Maybe, yeah. Do it, Sal. Let's lay at it. Let's get lit, somebody says. Thanks for the Patreon notes and tools. Over under passing yards for Rodgers today. I don't have a stance on that, to be honest with you. I'm not going to tell you over under. I would lean over, but I'll lean over for everything because life's too short to bet the under. That's not true, but I don't have a stance on the passing yardage. It's not a wide enough gap for me to bet it. Where do ownership projections come from? Big old math algorithm. A big old math algorithm that projects in weighted time averages over historical data and historical slate context. Ownership sentiment as well in the industry, which also shout out Fanshare Sports. Fanshare Sports, they have they might do it for free. The sentiment, it's not their ownership projections that are free, but you can sign up and get them if you don't want to sign up for Patreon, which you should sign up for Patreon. But they have sentiment projections, or not even projections, just tell you like this many times, like in this specific Sal Vetri podcast, he discusses positive sentiment on this guy. And then you can read those and kind of get an idea of where ownership's going to go. If like 30 podcasts have said positive things and only one have said a negative thing, well, then David Montgomery's probably going to be highly owned, right? Something like that. So, check out Fanshare Sports. It's not linked up down below, but fansharesports.com. You can check it out. I think their sentiment is free. David donates $5 to the stream. He says, full PPR flex. Shepard, Pittman, Zach Moss, Jamal Williams, or Duke Johnson. You can only pick one Pittman for me. Let me pull up my iTunes shit here. Let's do this quickly. Let's get that out of here. Let's pull up my iTunes shit so we can try and see if this music will play properly. Crowder or whatever. All right, let me check. Crowder or Davis, I'll go with Davis. Deontay, Debo, or Shark, need one. Deontay. Cooks or Parker at wide receiver? Give me Cooks. All right, let's try and find my... So my New Orleans rap. Which one is it? All right, this is not what I need. I need to get rid of this. Is first score in play? Yes, I have 35% highest owned man. Allen Robinson or Anthony Miller? Allen Robinson, but I mean, that's not your question, right? There's a 2v2 in there somewhere. Zeke or Drake? Zeke. QB Page, and are you big on Trubisky? No, I've got like 5% Trubisky. QB Page is up right now, by the way. Let me know if we're coming in laggy. I think just opening up the fucking Apple just fucked this all up. For some reason, it made my shit extra lag. Let's just do this to try and lower it. Watson or Tannehill? Sal, Mims or Isabella? I have more Isabella. Watson or Tannehill, full PPR. Easily for me personally, Watson there. I was lost before I found Sal the GOAT. Hey, the lost and found. Shout out you. We got over 1,100 people in here. So should we try and play this motherfucking rap? Do you think it's going to be too loud? All right, I'm going to try and play it low and let me know what you guys think. I don't want it to be blowing out the... Let me find it first. It's got to be somewhere in my... It's also not... I mean, it's just me rapping over, like literally me playing an instrumental. It might not even be with the sound, but this is the New Orleans rap. So I found it. I found the rap. I could play it. It's not mixed or mastered. It's literally me rapping over a song. We were going to mix and master it, but then the trip got canceled. We were going to have somebody on Fiverr do it. I believe so, Alice Cook. Mitch, Eckler and Allen good together? Sure. McLaurin or Drake? McLaurin. You always dog Gallman. I don't... What the fuck are you talking about? I always dog Gallman. Me? I think I've been one of the biggest Gallman advocates over the last 2 weeks. Thanks, Al. Added some first green there. I was concerned about Swaim from last week. Yeah, Swaim ran like 5 routes. Don't worry about it. Atkins first grade, Tony on with 1 in the lineup. Had an insane amount of Atkins. Nice. Gaskins or Dobbins? Gaskin, not even close. If I play Miller in my lineup, I got Henry. Let it rip. Anyone on Baker? Sal, are we giving away a real judgment or do we just, okay, that was okay? What? Sal, are we giving you a real judgment? I mean, I'm a white kid. I'm a 24-year-old white kid that grew up in like Staten Island, New York, and then Montrose, Pennsylvania. So you're going to be not impressed by my rap skills, but if your expectations are this kid's going to suck, you'll probably say, yeah, this kid's not as bad. Let's see how loud that this can play. I also don't, this is the thing, like I'm playing an instrumental of an actual real song, so I don't want YouTube to fucking flag my account. That's the problem. That's the real problem. I could post it in Discord, though. But that's the real problem, is I don't want this. Sal, is it the wrong sport? But I've been waiting to hear your take. How's Drew with the Bucks? I mean, fucking good for the Bucks, right? One of the best two-way guards in the league. When Klay Thompson is not healthy, arguably Drew Holiday, one of the top, 3 two-way guards in the league, top 4. I would like to play the song. I'm looking at it right now, but the instrumental is a... Actually, the instrumental might be a free one that I found on YouTube. Let's play it. Fuck it. So the context of this song, we were going to go to New Orleans in April, me and my buddies. So me and my other friend who've made a rap before, a song, we were like, let's just make a spoof rap. So all the stuff in the rap is going to be specific to these guys, so you won't know like the inside jokes of them, but it's still a rap's a rap. So it's way funnier if you know, like this guy Jeff I talk about, he always eats late night gas station food, some other stuff. So there's going to be some weird shit in here. Let's see if this works. All right, so it's basically like a spoof song. Let me know if you can hear it, first of all. I guess it's loading. Can it fucking play if I'm live on this? Because it seems to be struggling. It's definitely not playing right now. We'll see if it comes on at some point. I'm going to try and keep it low to start. I got it up, it's just not fucking playing. Do I need to download it? Let's try this one. There we go. Let's go. Let me know if you can hear. I'm going to say Sal, Rivers announced as having a plantar fasciitis rupture Taylor upside. All right. I'm gonna play it now. I wanted to make sure my mic's facing the other way, so I'll face my mic this way. Let's see.
What it do? Louisiana, what it do?
Can you hear this? Let me know. Is it too loud?
Jeffrey, what you thinking, boy? 2020 vision, New Orleans indecision, French quarters in the spring. Ooh, we really living. Can call it a reunion. Can call me if you're boozing. Cause when we get together, man,
the shit a movement.
First things first, I crack a Miller Lite. Spirit so high, gonna fly me out of sight. Matt Lewis chest hair feels so nicey. The shots on the table, I think I just might. 5 days of drinking, the hangover's a real thing. God, we got Mike for the recovery meals. And if it ain't Mike, it's Jeff's recipes. But that likely means gas station meets. Yikes, the pre-game's a special.
Make it higher?
And my brothers, like Justin, remember that time we went to Boston one summer? That shit was so great. We ate lobster tails for like a whole week straight. Shaq was out to Kyle, that boy real swole. Late nights in his hot tub used to cleanse my soul. I can't wait to see Chet. That man a legend. He went from being Mike's bitch to an alpha. That's some real progression. Partying and laughing into the night. Making new memories like a sports highlight. Like when I hit a single up the middle. Shout out Chris White. It's all love, Chris.
Hey.
I did suck at baseball,
Hey.
though. Yo, let's not take this shit for granted. We gotta live in the moment. Like it's tatted on your arm. That's this weekend slogan. Don't worry, this is only year one. I'm a rookie in New Orleans. Call that Zion. Version 2 coming soon, 2021. Now let's make some way for a very special guest today. The big business buffet, the Prince of Broadway. Talk to him, Dre.
Hey.
2020 vision, New Orleans the decision. In the spring, ooh, we really...
You like that shit? That was well written. Written, produced, all that shit in-house. Somebody says instant hit. Yeah, man, 2020 vision, New Orleans a decision, French Quarter's in the spring, ooh, we really living, can call it the reunion, can call me if you're boozing, because when we get together, man, that shit a movement. That's good. That's not too bad. This man, my man Justin says, stick to DFS, fam. Justin, your baseline expectations are that I'm Drake or Kendrick. I'm a white motherfucking dude at 24 years old in a apartment in Raleigh, North Carolina. Relax. You off the beat, but yeah, that's some good shit. In the song, we're off the beat. Yeah, I mean, I'm like recording it not with the beat in my headphones. I'm like recording it on a speaker when I recorded it. Yeah, it's like the entire song just talks about like 7 of my friends that were going on the trip. It's funnier if you know the inside jokes, but they do, which is why it was funny when I sent it to them. Somebody says better than Carter Me. Let me sign you, Sal. I would never sign a record deal. Them motherfuckers make negative 10 to 15% on average of their money. That sounds terrible, right? Would you start Dr. Dre today? Yeah, so the other guy that was going to come on the song, his name was Dre. Yeah, Sally Beats in Cosmic Dre. Somebody says, F you, Justin. On Patreon, are they listed in any particular order, says Ron Jamie. Is what listed in any particular order, my man? I'm trying to see what your first question was. It was honestly pretty average, not bad. Thanks, appreciate it. It really wasn't bad. It was catchy. Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing, to be catchy. What was the other song? We did a song to come back from college one year. It was called Silly Week, but Syllabus Week is the title. How did that one start? It started off, professors act crazy when you tell them the news. Can't believe 2 white boys are bringing the juice. Like Braun in the finals, we ain't trying to lose. Like Maddie with the bottle, we just drinking our booze. Since I started school, I heard C's get degrees. How'd that part go? Since I started school, I heard C's get degrees, but some students don't know their A, B, C's. But really, all you need to know is your B, C, D's, because all the B needs is a C to get. Yep, you get the rest. If you're as bad as rapping as I am at DFS. Yeah, man. I'm a white dude having fun. Cooker 2 mid-range running backs. 2 mid-range running backs. Number 1 overall pick, value pick. Number 1 value is Anthony Firkser today for me. I'm like Trubisky or Cousins. I have equal amounts of both, like 4% of both. Sal, how is it faster than you talk fast? How is it possible that you talk faster than you rap? I think it's the same. Yo, I was thinking of Alshon Jeffrey as a punt, not for me. Somebody says I've heard worse, probably. Let's go, Sal, Raleigh gang. Yeah, shout out. Deontay or F1? Deontay if Big Ben starts. Awesome, but don't quit playing DFS quite yet. I'm not trying to become a professional rapper. I think that stuff's fun. Where did you go to college? Penn State. I went to college at Pennsylvania State University, 5-year degree program. Sal, you were like a white Eminem. Not even close, but Eminem is a god, that's for sure. What's your thoughts on Tua? Your rapper name should be Blackhead. I think it would be Sally Boy. Sally Beats. Sal, try Relish Restaurant in Raleigh, my favorite place to eat. Yo, I've seen it on Yelp. I've seen good things. It seems pretty cool. You ever listen to Tom McDonald, the rapper? He is great. You would like him. No, I have not, actually. Raleigh kind of sucks, though, right? Raleigh doesn't suck at all. It's probably like the number 1 place I've ever lived to raise a kid if you had a kid. The problem with Raleigh is, 1, we're in a pandemic, but 2, it's kind of drivable. Like, you have to drive it. Like, downtown Raleigh, you can walk, and it's walkable, and Glenwood Ave is cool for all the places to go out, but it's not, like, condensed. Like, when I went to Asheville's a smaller city, but it's actually condensed, right? So, like, everything's in this mile radius, but it's all right there. So, if you live in the city, it's easy to walk around. Yo, son, I just joined this chat. Let's hear you spit, dog. You have to rewind it a little bit. Sal's Pizza equals bars. Hey. Yeah, keep your day job, but it was okay. Oh, man. Motherfuckers be hating. Motherfuckers thinking I was about to be Jay-Z over here. But no, it's a cool party trick, that's for sure. Thoughts on Coastal Carolina beating BYU last night? Yeah, I don't really follow college football that much, to be honest with you. Especially this year because it's all whack. It's shitty. Who's your NFL team? I like the Packers. I used to live in Durham. Durham's pretty cool. I like Durham downtown. Like even Durham is kind of more condensed in a way than Raleigh at times. Like downtown Raleigh, it's kind of patchy. I don't know. I like the city a lot, but I expect to move within the next year to two. How much Matt Ryan you have? Like 4%. Come on down to Wilmington, hit the beach. I'll give you a good. Yeah, I've been to Wilmington once. It was all right. Somebody says blackhead. Hey, win dollars, goal of the day for sure. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna bounce soon, but be sure to check out Jock Market. We can check in on some of the prices in the last hour right now of Jock Market. So let me check in on these last hour of Jock Market prices right now. We'll pull it up. Any Tannehill for you? No. What's your regular job, Sal? This is my job. A lot of people would be surprised when I say that this is my job. We're gonna have an end of the year business review on how the business did this year. Vetri Media is my media business, which is all 95% funded through DFS. Not my play, but my business side of it. Marketing, Patreon, advertising. And let's just say that you'll see how it is. The projections this year were to make $200,000. We smashed those, even in a pandemic year. So it was good to see. But yeah, a lot of people are surprised when I say that. If you have a audience in content, no matter what it is, your audience can be making, let's see, I don't even know, like making art, right? Making like fucking like glass, right? There's going to be, if there's 1,000 people that like that, 500 people, you can do it full time if you work hard enough at it. Are you rostering Tua? No, I'm not rostering any Tua currently right now, sadly. The thing that I get to use for, it's not letting me in, the thing that I get to use for the live Jock Market prices. So I'm going to pull up the Jock Market app on my phone so we can have a little bit of a workaround. We can discuss some of the Jock Market prices before I let you all go, or you let me go, whatever it might be. Thanks, Sal. I send you my best. Same to you. Running back page, please. Yeah. How do you feel about Deontay Booker now? I like him a lot. He's my third highest on running back. I look forward to the show every week. Thank you. Dad said that rap was lit. Yeah, we have a couple of raps. The one for thanks, Mama. Let me pull up the Jock Market right now. All right, so the prices aren't going to be that high on these guys yet. Like most of them are pretty low. Guys that play on like Monday and Sunday nights are be lower. So like Patrick Mahomes should be higher than he is, but he's not going to be. Right now, he's going to get higher by 11 or by noon. So some guys are going to be cheaper. Deshaun Watson is going to be lower on than he should because the sentiment is that Will Fuller is everything to Deshaun Watson, which I personally do not fully believe at all. You're going to see probably lower ownership. I'm trying to find if Julio's on here. Let's see if Julio Jones is on here, because if he is, that's going to be a guy that I want to own a lot of. So Julio Jones right now is still just $1. Nobody's bid on him yet on Jock Market. I'm going to go and be the person to bid on him and hope that he's not ruled out today. So let's start to bid on Julio here. All right, so he just bought 10 shares of Julio. So I think Julio looks good. All these guys are going to start to come up, but a sneaky thing for Jock Market is just checking on Jock Market probably close to like 10 minutes before. You have to be staying up with it, but the guys who play on Sunday night are not going to be that highly owned. Sal, the Spicy Meatball Vetri is a legend. Spicy Meatball, uh-oh. Jock Market, they need to change the name. I like the name of Jock Market. What are you talking about? I think it's cool. Let's hear the Jock Market thoughts. Yeah, so like you're still going to need some time. I can't pull up the screen that shows all the active pricing right now. You're not going to have the exact pricing on Jock Market right now. Everybody's going to be underpriced because a lot of the bidding action comes in on the last half hour, like it does on any platform, and really like the last 10 minutes. But a lot of guys who play on the Monday night game, even the Tuesday night game, will be lower on than they should this week. I do like Julio, though, and now all of you watching this, all 1,000 or whatever you are also going to like him. I like Julio. I like Allen Robinson. Basically, if you find value in the streets on DraftKings, they're probably going to be a value over on Jock Market. Like Eckler's already coming up in price, but he's not nearly as high as he should be. Julio, Allen Robinson, these guys are looking pretty good right now. You can also leverage and like hedge, like, I don't know, Clyde Edwards-Helaire might not play tomorrow night. You really can't hedge much with that because Mahomes is a good play either way. But you can hedge some of that stuff. Michael Pittman's under $2. I think that comes up and doesn't get high enough. So yeah, there's some decent plays on here. TJ Hawkinson with, again, all these guys out coming off of a career high yardage game. He has not yet been bid on. Seeing the next one, Sal, appreciate it. Yeah, same to you. I'm late to the party, but could you go through the wide receiver and tight end page? Yeah, so here's tight end, here's wide receiver. Tight end, wide receiver. Mama Vetri heard all of the B needs is a C to get degrees. Yeah. Funny. Landry, Cup, or Cooks, regardless of price. Regardless of price, it's going to be Cooks. Sal over Eminem. All right, cool. All right, everybody, I think I'm going to bounce. Go get them dollar Rooskies. Have a good Sunday, Sal. Thank you. Drop Janu and add Fersker or keep. Yeah, if you need to win this week, go ahead and get the tight end. All right, everybody. Before you leave, hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate all 1,000 plus of you still in here. Thank you so much. Best of luck today. I'm going to go finish up these lineups, go play some basketball at the gym, and and then watch some of these games. We got less than 2 hours till football, so that's pretty fun. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Greetings from Germany. Shout out Germany. Nice. Thank you, everybody. Peace out. Appreciate it. Check out Jock Market. Be sure to support them. They support this show. So if you want to download the app, free to do so. Use my name, Sal10. They'll give you an extra free 10 free dollar riskies upon deposit. Peace out, everybody. Best of luck. Any other questions, you can reach out in the Discord, the Patreon Discord. If you reach out to me on Twitter, like this guy or this guy, I'm honestly just going to delete the message or not even look at it. There's too many people do that. If you're a Patreon, I'll answer it. I got 7 messages to go answer in the Discord right now. So best of luck, everybody. Peace out, gang. See you all in that next one.